Hello and welcome! Today we are going to delve into some Donald cartoons. Well, one spectacular Donald cartoon. Donald Duck Visits Math Magic Land, and I think it actually was part of a series where Donald Duck visits some different places and some short cartoons, but I haven't done much research on that, so that'll be something in the future. But I remember seeing this one particularly in middle school, and even though I didn't remember anything about it except for one little scene, it's something that I realized and was a thing and remembered. So I want to take a look back at this and see how it was, especially because it's been over a decade since I initially saw it and I don't remember anything. I also thought it was a lot newer of a cartoon for some reason. I thought it was from the 80s. I guess because the animation seemed 80s to me, but that also shows how much it hasn't changed. It was actually released in 1959. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh, it's only like 20 years old. No, it's like 50 years old. But that just shows really cool because it kind of outstood the width of time and not that much has changed. But now you can see the quality is a little bit different, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So we open up on Donald in a safari outfit and a rifle going and visiting this math magic land, and it has a very Alice in Wonderland setting with the bird writing numbers. Donald is very complexed about this land when a spirit guide narrator tells him where he is.
Hello, Donald.
That's me. Where am I?
Mathemagic Land.
Mathemagic Land? No.
It's the land of great adventure.
Well, who are you?
I'm a spirit.
And his mission is to teach him how fantastic the world of mathematics is. And this is all it is. This is basically the plot. It's a very educational film. Edutainment. It's a Donald Duck edutainment film. And this is a very simple thing where you're just on a journey to learn about mathematics and the history of mathematics and how fantastic they are. I say that and I don't like math. The first relation to how math is great is all about music, and they have an entire section dedicated to how musical instruments were created using fractions and splitting up the octaves and creating the scale. It actually is really cool. I do like this a lot, that they mix live action in with this animation technique, and I really do like the switch between the two of them and showcasing these artists and focusing on the art aspect of it. Something you wouldn't see today, especially the fact that they are trying to take away art and music in the schools. And it's interesting to see that they were actually pushing this back then and saying that even though math is important, and they're like, oh, math is so important, you need this, but it also created this. And that's a cool concept. I do like that it shows a balance to both of the creative sides and the logical sides, and all subjects are great to learn. So we learn about the music, that math was important to create music, and you can't have one without the other. And that goes into the same for art. What's interesting is that they say that the pentagram is the most interesting shape, and it is used for basically everything. I didn't know that they were a group of Wiccans. It is, I really find it interesting though, I do, especially because back then they used it as a math related shape, and today it is highly associated with the Wiccan community and witches and witchcraft and all that fun stuff. And just seeing how 50 years it took an entire new life on itself. So that's a really cool thing to see element wise and how time changes things. But pentagrams are cool, I love them. The shape is great, they're beautiful. That's just me. We continue on to learn all about this pentagram and how many shapes it can create out of it.
Hidden within the pentagram is a secret for creating a golden...
including the Illuminati, apparently.
That's right, Donald. And you can find mathematics in games, too.
Games? Oh boy.
We continue through and we go from music into sports and how important sports are related to math.
Lewis Carroll, a famous mathematician with a literary mind, used chess as a setting for his classic tale, Through the Looking Glass. Alice.
And yet Alice in Wonderland is mentioned once more, and I literally did not plan this at all. I seriously did not remember this cartoon, but it's Alice Week. Apparently Alice in Wonderland and Alice in the Looking Glass is one of the most important topics of Walt Disney history, because literally I have covered at least 6 things regarding Alice in Wonderland already. We're only in the first month of this, and we still have to do the feature-length film, and I'm not touching the remakes. That's one thing that is too much Alice. I love Tim Burton, no, that's too much Alice. This is just classic Disney, and she's popping up everywhere.
Practically all games are played on geometrical areas. The baseball field is a diamond.
Oh, boy.
Football is played on a rectangle divided by yard lines. Basketball is a game of circles, spheres, and rectangles.
And I find it very interesting that they mention football and basketball when the players of today always make it seem that they suck at math. Irony!
Oh, boy. That's for me.
You know the game, don't you, Donald?
Of course. The cue ball has to hit the other 2 balls. Like this.
This is one scene that I really did remember, and even then I didn't even remember the physical scene. I just knew that in this film Donald was playing billiards, and that's the only thing that I took from this film 15 years ago. The narrator works with Donald to continue to show him how fantastic math is used, and we go into Donald's mind where we find a pinup poster of Daisy. Yay, pinups! I know that's not the part of that at all. Like, I know that this has nothing to do with math and this film, but this is my favorite part about it. It's a pinup poster of Daisy. We just have a whole discussion about how math is great, and it's an edutainment film, and it's very, very informative, but it is very entertaining at the same time, so it's a perfect balance. And it's nice because it tells you more about why math is useful instead of explaining it, and you get that nice history of it. And that is something that I like a lot more, because even with school, and you can tell that I enjoy history today because I'm doing this entire series here, that I love history, I really do. And that and English was, they always say that those are like, if you like history and English, or you like math and science, are the 2 groups when you're in school studying. You either have those as a favorites or those as a favorites. I was kind of the in between. I thought science was fun. I enjoyed science and I enjoyed history. I hated English because I hated writing formal essays, and I hated math because I could not understand it because I'm a very creative person. This one I would highly suggest you guys check out. This was also one of my favorites. It's just a relaxing film to watch. And I know some people may think it's boring because it's that technical edutainment film where you're learning something and it was played in the classrooms for years and years. I don't know if it would still be. I'm very curious now if this is something that would still be shown in classrooms, because it's still enjoyable, and if you didn't pay attention to the quality of the film and the style of it, it's timeless. And it reminds me a lot of classic Epcot. Like, this was the inspiration I feel like they continue to put into Epcot, which, you know, is my favorite park in my home, so that also makes sense of why I like this more. But it's something that is definitely enjoyable to check out and just relax and learn about the history of math and not have to do any word problems or anything regarding numbers. You just watch and you learn, and then that's it. So I really enjoyed this one, and it was also really great because Donald Duck didn't get mad in this film the entire time, and he was a likable character. He was very involved, he was very intrigued by what was going on, and he was ready to learn. And I liked seeing the side of him because it showed him that he is a nice guy. And thank him for his service because he's in the Navy. We're going to talk about that later on. But as always, you can check it out below. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll continue on tomorrow. And I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.